From Daytona to Atlanta, normally it's a scenic 6-hour drive, but virtually we travel at the click of a button. Welcome to the Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's situated just a half-hour's drive from the city of Atlanta itself, and it hosts the second round of the 2020 iRacing Rallycross All-Star Invitational presented by Yokohama, with all coverage today on the iRacing Esports Network. Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. And here we watch, was that Michael Leach? I think it was, in the Lonebro Motorsports Ford Fiesta, teammate of Steve Arpin. We've also got a few new drivers you'll see on the left-hand side of the screen, Arjuna. So you've got Tim Stevens, who's returning. He raced in the Subaru IRX All-Star Invitational earlier in the year. Tim Stevens is the editor at CNET. He's a brilliant journalist and a very good sim racer, he proved to us. And we've also got a couple of other new names, including Andrew Carlson, who races Pro Trucks, and Mario Bonfante Jr., who is a quadriplegic. And I'd love to know how he's racing today, but very good on him to see him still competing in the sim. He is a very tough character. He's a story to look out for, and a story to have a read of too after this event.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not the wins that he's accustomed to right there. Rare mistake from the champion. As we look at our start grid for Heat 3, fast-paced rallycross means we're already ready to go, as Connor Martel will head pole from Solberg, Pastrana, Leach, Bonfante Jr. Still waiting on the grid here, so we have a bit of time to ourselves, but we talked about Mario Bonfante Jr., a quadriplegic racing today. Gutsy dude. And this is the final heat of the day. I saw a false start. That was from Travis Pastrana. What an awful start for the Action Sports legend. That's going to be a penalty to serve. Everybody launches it into the final couple of corners here and into the jump, but it's still Connor Martel leading. A bit of contact behind, some argy-bargy as Bonfante Jr. forces himself to fourth. Pastrana into the fence.
Pastrana got touched over the jump and got sent around. He's still in that catch fencing there. You can see him on track trying to get back on. And I think for Pastrana, that's going to be another visit to the last chance qualifiers. But we take a look now at the Subaru. Is he going to head down into the Joker? He is. So one of the drivers taking a very early Joker here, Johnny, as we head into lap number 2, Mario Bonfante Jr.
Yeah, opens the door for him. I think it's a good strategy. Don't lose the braking zone. By the way, Pastrana, I'm just having a giggle, is still impaled in the barrier. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. He would have had a 30-second penalty to serve for false starting. The what should I say here? The non-order for your non-jokers. I'm getting a bit confused. Is that Martel already catching Bonfante Jr.? Because he's our effective leader right now, Bonfante Jr. Martel, whoa! Huge launch for Bonfante Jr.
And he's still rolling in the background. There you can see him finally going to come to a rest on his roof. And my word, just getting the line a little bit wrong, taking a bit too much of one of those anti-cut curves. Let's take a look at an iRacing.com replay.
That is a trip to the hospital in the real world. Oh, goodness gracious. And he's still rolling. So Bonfante Jr.'s race is done. He was struggling, wasn't he, Arjuna? Because remember, he was the only driver to take the Joker. And that was a hilarious accident right there. Glad it's virtual. Bonfante Jr. is out of this race along with Travis Pastrana. A one and only Marwin Sports LCQ. And just like we had last week, there'll be 4 drivers advancing, so plenty of opportunity, but they will have to start down the order in this race. Now, Travis Pastrana, just over a week ago, celebrated his 37th birthday. Will it be a birthday gift here in your Marwin Sports LCQ? He'll have to start down the order because Ed Carpenter starts on pole alongside Kevin Swindell, Michael Leach and Lane Vakela right behind them. Andrew Carlson and Mario Bonfante Jr., 2 of the new guns. And the third row, Bucky Lassick, who's raced here in the real world along with Steve Arpin, starts 7th and 8th, and then Pastrana from the back of the pack in the number 199 Subaru Motorsports USA car. Here we go, same format, 5 laps of action. We got a Joker, they'll have to take 2. We go green from Atlanta. I saw some jostling down the back of the pack. Few drivers forcing their way off and forcing their way through. Michael Leach just made it at the end of the day, but leading the field is Ed Carpenter. From Michael Leach, somebody overtook someone over the jump and flew over them. Pastrana's in the wall again down the back of the pack. Utter carnage, but at the front of the pack, it's Carpenter from Leach, from Carlson, from Swindell in your transfer spots.
And more cars having issue. It was Lane Vakela down in towards that first turn of the course that had been pushed off wide, and then Bucky Lasek over the jump getting turned around. Steve Arpin did a 360 over the jump as well, and there is so much chaos happening here in the last chance qualifiers. Remember, just 4 of these cars are going to advance up into that feature race, so all of them are battling very hard here, Johnny.
Certainly do, they got to. This is their last chance in your Marwin Sports LCQs. That's why it's called the LCQs. So your top 4 are in a league of their own right now. They've built a 3-second gap to Mario Bonfante Jr. in 5th. As you see this brilliant shot across the front stretch. Now it's Lane Vakela, I should say, who's in a scrap with Mario Bonfante Jr. I think they turned themselves around. It's true. Bonfante Jr. is around in the Marwin Sports Subaru. And let's watch the replay, see what happened here.
Yeah, 2 does not go into 1, and I think Vakela was just trying to carry a bit too much speed through the corner compared to Bonfante, and there you can see Mario just getting sent around into the grassy bit. Vakela's having an interesting race, if you will, here, Johnny. Gets punted off at the first corner. He's still running up, though, in 3rd position overall, so still a potential opportunity here for Vakela to get up into the feature race.